Right, let's see how Sentinels look on this map, because off-season it started off bad and then looked a little bit better. I've never seen a team that buys... Oh, we've got red. I've seen a team that buys as many classics as Sentinels.
There's a lot to be excited about. Sentinels on the attacking side, they're going to be running that standard jet comp with Breach over the top on...
How do I change...
no less. And they've left
I might have to stick with red for a little bit.
By himself, has to give some of the space back, concede the area.
Yeah, he's so deadly with the Sheriff, though. He already got a tag earlier in the round on 10s.
Down to 48.
Play retake, yeah.
There's some of that space conceding that we were just mentioning. Tucks back into smoke. Procs the
Roman
dash.
flash into Gecko flash.
Forward. Recklessly, Saucy will be the first to fall. Zeppa joining in on the fun.
The weird decision from Tens to flash the guy that came in instead of the choke point.
John QT left alone. They've gotten Spike down, but can he pull off another magic moment? He's gotten it down to 1. Moose has gotten it to half. It's not planned for him. There's the swing. The shots do not land. Moose gets the pistol for Cloud9.
Moose with the stability closes out the round. The spike gets diffused, and it was that back flood from Cloud9. It looked scrappy, it looked crazy at first. Oxy, he just dashes in, doesn't have a cloud burst because he invests into a Sheriff, but he's still connected regardless.
That's saving for an op early.
He gets flashed.
Yeah, stunned and flashed.
Yeah, it was a really weird
and just knows to just steady the
shots. It was a really weird decision from
John. He had a really good opportunity to close this one out.
Flash the guy that dashed in instead of them flooding and choke point, because they could have isolated the one.
The one who's kind of just snuck under the radar a lot for this Cloud9
okay,
roster.
He 100% forgot to buy it, if that's their reaction.
He's been super steady. And I think there was a lot of discussion around whether or not he was the right fit for the roster, but he's answered the call. Cloud9 come into this match.
Okay, hero gun.
Some really interesting hopes and aspirations. Think about the year they've had so far. They hit the halfway mark.
Dryad.
At 5-1. Yeah,
C9.
they fell short of Shanghai, and you know that one stings a little bit, but 5-1 with plenty of hopes, plenty of reason to think the Champs is on the cards.
Plenty of time to prep for Champs as well, or this stage 2, I should say.
Yeah, but they come out of it a little sluggish, perhaps. You know, they lose to G2.
Oh, and then maybe we could get a gun.
Zekin's the only one who had a stinger online. No armor left on the side of Sentinels.
Yeah, he's not sluggish, that's for sure. And that should be an upgrade for one more member on this roster. And we've seen how deadly the stinger can be in rounds like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he bought a hero one, but his economy is still really good. That's what happens when you get the spike planted and it comes down to the wire like that.
I mean, it was John that dropped him it, right? 3 kills.
I think for Cloud9, as you think about the weapon upgrade, 4 members, or excuse me, 3
pretty
members
nice, because they know they haven't cleared this or this, so they've got to hold 2 people here.
Otherwise.
Yeah, unless he can get really close up and personal in their face. At that point, it doesn't even matter, right? And it looks like Sentinels will have a free C site, and the breach of Rooney is not really close enough to do any type of fast flood here. I say that, but Spike is just now getting planted. There might be a window of opportunity to flood out here, but Second takes his own opportunity.
A second one, his vanity falls. And they managed to get the spike down. John QT joined in on it. It's just Oxy now. It's just Rooney.
Second's done so much damage.
I mean, they've stolen this round away. The high-low, a bit difficult to navigate, but manages to do so. Numbers still the way of Sentinels. Still plenty of weaponry.
Lovely round on this one. The hero stinger. Yeah, and they doubled the guns over towards short.
Sentinels. Home crowd
Second
advantage
just
in
did
full
so
effect, and that stinger in full effect. I said it, the close range fights with that stinger. Doesn't matter what gun you have against it. Look at this. Up close and personal in your face.
Vanity caught with utility out. That's so tough.
Yeah. That's what you want. That's exactly what Sentinels wanted. That's exactly what they needed.
Pretty much the best start you can get
for that thrifty win.
Free
guns. Now it's Cloud9 who are on the back foot with just
3 people whose money's out of control already.
But other than that, classics to work
and
with
now
no
they're up
armor
against
on
an
anyone.
eco, so it could get even crazier.
The economy of Sentinels is already flourishing like crazy. Multiple players sitting at 3,000.
We'll see what the approach is here for Sentinels.
Second, yeah,
they had a
he's
really
so
cool
good.
rollout as we saw in the previous round, and yes, that was off of the fact that they had a numbers advantage A. But we'll see if they do it again. The alarm bot catching Oxy up to his silly antics. Tries catching a timing, tries taking space away.
And he gets deleted for it. And that's going to soak into his mind for the rest of this half. I like the aggressiveness, though. I like that he's not scared. Oh, my God.
That was a wide jump swing.
Yeah, it was a little bit wide.
Showed all of it and then a little more.
Yeah, and right now for Sentinels, no reason to really jump the gun on anything here. They're going to do a re-clear of mid after getting picks on both extremities. So now they have complete and utter map control. Yeah, they don't have any of these close short A angles cleared out, but John's doing that himself right now. Basically, the human drone effect.
On his wide on this one still takes a lot of damage.
C, and that fault line should be the key to get out of
I'm
dodge.
pretty sure
John's
John's just going to call him back over towards A.
John QT.
Tell him that short hasn't been checked.
Onto the site for free. 0 resistance, as Cloud9 had no choice but to play in bunches, given the fact that they were down in numbers, down in guns. And so they will arrive a little late to the party, but arrive nonetheless. And presumably, we would think just die to the spike. You mentioned the economy for the side of Sentinels heading into this round and how...
Good news is John and Sassy can definitely hunt. They don't have these guns for the big buy round.
Given how the rest of this turns out, it's only going to get better. If you think about the guns that they have, yes. But they have 3-4 members who are not going to have to buy armor into the next round.
Yeah, and not only in terms of economy of their weaponry, right? It's the abilities as well, the ultimates that are coming up online. John is 2 away from that lockdown.
Right.
Sachi's 3 away from his Hunter's Fury. And that's why you're seeing John hunt for these kills actively. He's got a Spectre to his name. He wants to upgrade next round anyway. Same with Sachi, I imagine.
You mentioned 1 away from the lockdown.
He's got it.
Yeah, he's going to get it. Certainly not the way he had intended or the way he would have hoped. But he got his. Says Rooney will fall. Zeppa will join him at the hands of the spike.
But that is more than ideal for the side of Sentinels, for John and Sachi themselves. That's 2 orbs for Sachi in that round. It was 2 orbs for John. John gets that lockdown on this first gun round for Cloud9.
Finished.
Yeah, that was that deletion of Oxy right away, and the follow-up on Vanity, who, he jumped way too far out.
I was so confused. Dude, I've never heard.
And just the easy breezy cleanup for the rest of the kills on the
Never
board.
heard anyone say Sachi.
So it will be the first gun round amongst these 2 teams in this series, which we presume to be a banger.
I mean, it's already starting to deliver. And you mentioned the ult in the hands of John QT. You know, oftentimes when you see an ult in round 3 or round 4, it's because it's a Gecko who often has the crash. To see it on a lockdown is just so atypical.
The Sachi's really thrown me
It
off.
was that 3K that I got on pistol.
Where are the
close it
ults?
out, but
John is
getting that spike planted.
John has got an ult.
Getting those 3 kills.
John's got an ult. If Rooney gets a
Closing
kill,
out
he
the
gets
last
his
round
ult.
as well. Here comes a C
And
exact.
they decide to play
No one here
retake
to
and they got
reciprocate.
Killjoy ult. I mean, this
Vanity
is just a
maybe
done round
trying
for
to get some
Sentinels,
spam.
right? All they've got to do is just time this ult well.
Back off now, and that will be a C
Ali.
site fully secured and locked down.
It was a different approach to it, too. You think about the last couple times they've hit this site, it's been
Yeah, but they take a lot of map control with it as well.
They've got the lockdown, as you mentioned, that's going to buy so much time and create so much space. I think the other thing we have to mention here is Sassy and his
Lovely
position.
stun on top of this. Oh my goodness, this was sick. The stun was for the peak and the ult.
Disgusting proactivity in that moment, just understanding
cool.
that all the members of Cloud9 are in these weird, awkward spots in spawn, waiting for that lockdown to go away. So the proactivity in that post plant from Sentinels, that was on point. That was a hard read as well. And now they're on the hunt once more. Why not? Your economy's already
A nice ult from Sachi.
miles ahead of the enemy team.
I mean,
Worst case scenario, you drop, you get your
3
ult.
guns saved, lots of money.
They did such a good job of disruption there. When you can tell Cloud9 wanted to settle in and then strike together, Sentinels never gave him an opportunity to really get into that comfortable spot. So they now
So I couldn't resist. I had to do
as
one.
we head into the 5th. Also very quickly, just as we look over the silly antics one more time. I mean, that Hunter's Fury and the fault line combo was, I mean, it was gorgeous. Sentinels 6-0 in maps. Their last 3 times on stage, they haven't dropped a map. I mean, Sentinels have looked so good, and that goes back to stage 1 as well.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, 3 hero guns, maybe they want to drop Oxy a gun, but he's going to be saving for op, and he doesn't have armor, so maybe not the best idea. He takes down the recon, so they knew that he was in the corner, so he's got to dash away.
Reinvigorated, refreshed. And I think that's a testament. I think a lot of the players on this roster, in a lot of media that they did, they were even saying, you know, we just need a break. We're burnt out.
Big shot
Another one, or
second on the trade.
It's a fast trade.
The kid's just
I like this though. Wait for his team.
It's been such a pleasure watching this kid grow, make it on the main stage, and now be a champion in his own right. That trophy at the end of the year would be the icing on the cake for him.
Yeah, it would. What a cap to the year. Fall line out. Second falling. Zeppa showing he can build that thing just as well. on the swing, able to settle, able to drop a IGL on the opposing side. Now numbers the way of Cloud9. You start to see Vanity rotate and get.
I think instead of the util that was getting dumped there, I would have preferred Rooney to send it in.
But online, but you can't imagine he drops into a position like this.
30
Zelsis
seconds left.
in a 1v2. A tap of the spike, a dare, a challenge, a beckon for a swing, and only one foul. It's the second.
What an impact from Zelsis. Giant round, man. Absolutely giant. Who's giving it as well? I mean, this is when old Sentinels are on form, when they're just winning all of these kind of rounds. Like this was Madrid. Just these kind of rounds, just from everyone.
And he knows. He was yelling something. We couldn't quite pick it up, but he was.
I'm sure it was family friendly.
Yeah, he was yelling some nice words. You guys are very good players, I imagine, is what he said.
That's exactly what that was. Zekin with an attack side op here. We've talked so many times about the financial situation they find themselves in and how it's just booming. It allows them the luxury of
off the
things
deep
like
alarm bot.
really
We
deep
all.
alarm bot.
And
That's the
Zekin
cue for the Rolling
has.
Thunder.
Oi,
They
nice
made it out
movement though. The
really
time of the
well.
dash was really good.
The mechanics
Dude, he
from
touched the
Zekin
moon
to
though.
Get out of dodge. John gets punished though, so it's a good early round for Cloud9.
I thought there was going to be a punish off of that. Meanwhile, Oxy.
It's a nice round from C9 though. I like this a
I
lot.
thought they were going to be able to mitigate a lot of that damage off of the beginning, but Oxy just begins to tee off on the other side. I think he saw a wisp of that TP as well. So now 10's patiently waiting. He puts it between his eyes through the wall. Unbelievable. And now the other waiting grazes by his ear. But Tassi realizes as the corners close in, the round is done. It's a dead man walking.
What a round, bro. What a round. Lovely. Okay, first of all, lovely setup. Early alarm bot in, so all.
What an insane response.
But yeah,
I mean, the way that he just did that as well.
the shots here were very nice.
Yeah, it was
Especially that
Sentinels
third
giving him one by one individual peaks, but I mean, 10's, he had no chance at all. Absolutely deleted. And this was a nice trap play based off that alarm bot. Yeah, it didn't punish Zekin right away, but Oxy,
What is that?
I mean, he just got easy pick'ems. That was a ridiculous shot. And all of a sudden, that young kid is ramped up himself, and he's ready to put some numbers on the board.
6 and 5 currently. Blades popped right at the beginning of the round. And the op in the hands of Oxy.
That short dart was broken by a teammate.
Oh my, look at that
So I was
angle.
gonna say, yeah, Sentinels
Yeah, good
were
luck to
down on that
Vanity.
angle, ready for any type of
Doesn't get hit
reswing.
by the ult.
All of Vanity.
Oh, but the flash is so good.
Oh,
but they
oh.
still haven't cleared the angle. Now spotting
Yo,
him,
the
now dealing with
trade
him.
is really good.
That could have been disaster. Somehow Sentinels
Yeah,
settled
if
up in numbers
they're
with site control and spike
they're
planted.
not checking that corner.
Now they turn their
Well,
attention
if Zekin's not
towards
checking
dealing
that
with the
corner,
attempted
10's
retake
should
from
be checking
Cloud9.
it.
It's a 4v3 though. This is gonna be so hard for Cloud9 to execute correctly.
It will be, but they have the utility to do it. They have the mosh pit, they have the dizzy over the top, and they have a thrash. Celsius has already fallen. His move starts to swing out. No contest quite yet. Look at how far Sentinels have taken a step back, vacated everything they've
didn't get
previously
through.
taken.
Yeah, Wingman's gonna just send
Have to
this.
fight back for this. They may have given up a little bit too much space here. It's going to be on Zekin to get active. He's left in a 1v3 with Blades online.
Not another.
Second.
He can dash to the left, get
Rooney's the
info.
only one left standing. It hasn't even been given a half. Second shot.
Oh my god. 1v2 and then they 1v3. There's no way.
Another moment.
Yeah, I'm saying you, this is old Sentinels where they just take turns in it.
Just listen to that crowd, man. Cloud9 did a good job of bringing it to a 3v1, but second, he's been an MVP for this roster so many times. And for reasons like that, and he's just caused Cloud9 himself to make a timeout. So electric in this arena right now. Crowd for Sentinels.
Talk about man,
has been going
please stop.
absolutely wild.
He's
Dre,
still
you and I
losing.
often talk about how
He's still losing
momentum driven this
1v3s,
game is,
1v2s.
and how oftentimes off of a big play, the scales tip away
Gee.
from them. Think about the round that Oxy just had.
Trump's accountant,
Yeah,
thank
right?
you for
And
the
how
9 months, bro.
easily that could swing back the way of
Appreciate the
Cloud9
prime.
in the face of the crowd, in the face of all the excitement, the energy, what have you. for that response to deliver when it does, I mean, that's just perfect.
And I mean, he's been getting a little bit unlucky with
back
some
you
of
up
this.
as well. It's even more pain for the other team because they're hearing that.
Yeah, there's no amount of white noise.
Yeah, it's
no way.
It's an absolute packed arena right now, full of Sentinels fans. Yeah, I'm sure there's some Cloud9 fans in the crowd.
Everybody kind of change up. The op is going over towards C.
And Sentinels are starting to run away with this one. 5-2 right now on attack. Haven.
There's this conception of Cloud9 that it's often Oxy and friends.
And
right?
Sen are just doing their default over towards A. Recon doesn't get shot, so they know they can farm pressure towards long, so they gotta keep 2 people here.
There's somebody there to be a 1-2 punch. The left and the right. I think we need to see someone else step up on the side of Cloud9 here, and they're gonna have to do it in the face of all the momentum that Sentinels have amassed.
Yeah, and that's no easy ask whatsoever. Keep in mind, though, this is Cloud9's map pick, so yeah, they didn't get off to a great start because of that eco, that thrifty round from none other than Zekken, of course.
Just good overall map control at the moment, right? Pressure over towards long. They had a smoke here, and then they do the next smoke here as well, so they have pressure over towards short.
Who knows what they can cook up on attack vanity.
Should have gone in and broken this, though, with the drone after seeing nothing.
Done more than
as much as I was complimenting them, they kind of missed that one step.
What's the plan here for Sentinels?
Else is just not go far enough.
You got Tens with his ult.
It's all divergent.
As Zekken dashes out, you see the paranoia drawn out as well, but you're absolutely right. The spike is rotating.
Mooses Killjoy, oh, they insert one onto A site. Where the hell is the spike going? Look at the minimap. This is so weird.
He heard at least 2-3 members in spawn.
You got 15 seconds.
This mid-rounding, are they cooking a little too much? There's only 10 seconds left in the round. Breach utility still up right now for the side of Cloud9 and Rooney. There's that fault line. Bomb's not going to get planted.
Poor Tens, but some of the Tens deaths are pretty savage.
Yeah, they inserted Zekken, but he never really moved after that. A big round out from Cloud9, yes, in large part to the fact that it may have been overdone from Sentinels, but
this wasn't great.
They capitalized anyway.
Yeah, this was not an overcook from the side of John QT. It seemed like he actually finessed. He out macroed Cloud9, but ending B in a moment
like
this,
he played himself, to be honest.
Full utility is still
I get it though, they were trying to bait out the Killjoy ult and then go over towards B, but then they never really bait out the Killjoy.
And the thing with this Cloud9 team is
there were good comms from C9 here though.
Give them rounds like
they didn't panic or anything.
Yeah, when they get momentum, that's when they're the deadliest. And Oxy, he's sitting at 8-6. He's slowly ramping up.
Ooh, this is a nice adjustment from C9.
With an op, just
yeah, and that was probably what they were talking about in the timeout, the fact that they just have a default comp, so they're probably just doing the standard. They get a rifle to break the...
Oh my goodness!
There's a name we haven't talked about.
A rifle to break the recon to make sure they don't know the op is here, and they breach damage this for when they normal TP into the corner.
Tyson just
but still, that is a shot.
Himself.
The big shot out there for Oxy. Op hasn't been scooped up quite yet. You imagine that will be the case. How much longer can they conceal Zeppa here?
Yeah, does he get antsy? Does he want to peek? But he's going to get met by opposition.
His freeze is
crazy. Oh my gosh.
Another one.
He's really committed.
Now getting active. The dizzy over the top as Zekken dashes into his face. A site wide open.
Okay, good news for C9 is they got a lot of money.
Really good.
Bad news is Sentinels gonna have
to just slow the round down. Not die to the operator early on, and now it's a 4v2. They get the spike planted. Basically for free. All three of those kills
out
were
basically.
In A and they were holding for that. That was the whole
plan. Not sure they're like 100% out, but they're like at least 99% out.
John walked in, tried to break an alarm bot if it was there, and that's how they caught all these players of Cloud9 in that transition, trying to get out of there. Oxy, he was about to rotate.
Technically still in, yeah, it's like a 1% thing, right?
So it will be another round the way of Sentinels answering back once more. I think that's something to be said about this match so far. It seems every single time Cloud9 win a round, Sentinels answer back with one of their own, and in convincing fashion.
That push and pull of this game, this time going the way of Sentinels. Also very quickly worth mentioning, Zekken was able to scoop up the op that we saw Oxy drop during that last round. And it wouldn't be the first time this half that we've seen him use it. So we take a look at that one more time. This shot.
Oh my goodness. And
Had
another
nice
one from
timing.
Zekken, same angle.
Yeah.
At this point, Zeppa, he's just stuck.
Yeah.
The fact that he even got a kill there was great work for him.
nice,
but he's getting overwhelmed. Even if he drops that second there, there's a third,
It's
there's
nice
a
though.
fourth.
Stopped the dizzy
And
and
now
then
with the
just
attack operator
instant
on the
adjustment.
battlefield, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird for Cloud9. They're going to have to use an Omen Smoke in a lobby with the stun, take control of that space. And you imagine Vanity, he's not going to be jump peeking this for too long unless they're not aware that he picked up that operator.
They
And if
never
he's not,
blocked
he might
vision
get
here,
punished
right?
for it, so.
They
Or
should.
They shouldn't expect him to
Given
pull
where he
short.
died, given how much time was left in the round, you'd imagine that's
Feels like they
not
are.
something that they are not privy
Maybe
to.
I missed something and they
Vanity
were
still jumps
both
behind this.
in
Now
the
Zekken
corner
takes
to
the
shoot the
line.
recon.
Oh no, maybe Vanity spotted him last second. Where that drone baited him into re-clearing garage.
That drone also baited the paranoia out.
Yep. It's painting the picture for John right now of
Oh, he
what
hit the alarm bell
defense
go off. Does he?
fortifications are like for Cloud9.
Sentinels are doing such a good job of starving Cloud9 of any bit of information and just forcing paranoia into their own thoughts.
Oh, and on the minimap right now, I'm seeing a exchange of rifles, so it will be Zekken
Sending it
entering
in.
in. He
Zekken,
is sitting at
46
50
HP.
HP though.
With the pressure
The
behind
alarm
now.
bot being broken should.
Well, he's onto
prompt the
Vanity.
speed up
He's
from
got
Sentinels.
no
That's why the
flash.
dash is coming out on sight. Vanity. He just got caught lacking.
The timing of this kid's insane. That's not the first time we see that happen. And
They
so
get a
Zekken
good
will
plant
fill
for
in
long
take
and they
all of
took
that
down
space
the
with his
smoker, so
46
they got
HP,
no
which he
vision
doesn't
block
seem to
on
care
this
about
one.
at all.
It'd be so fine for
Get the spike
Sentinels
down, now
here.
they can take a step back.
And yeah, this lockdown comes through.
Could
but
even omen ult
it's
as well if he
planted for
wanted
long.
to at one
Yeah,
point.
they don't,
Yeah.
they don't have to
Sure
worry
they
about
need
it at
that.
all.
And now Zekken has the operator again. He almost hits that flick.
And the truth is, even if he goes down here, you've got a
Ooh,
full
nice
army
molly.
behind him to scoop it up and continue to play into it. There's a really small timing window that Cloud9 has
Wait,
to
they're
punish.
gonna win this?
And it's Oxy leading from the front, trying to cut him down. Meanwhile, John's position here is perfect. As Saucy pops the ult, you know he's being pushed. Moose trying to get active. He will clean him up.
Oh
John
my god, what the hell
able to
happened
settle
there?
the shots. That round was not supposed to go that way.
Yeah, that
Well
was
done by
never meant to
Cloud9.
happen like this.
Oh, 0.77.
Shout out to
for
Oxy. I mean, Oxy hit a
Cloud9.
lot of shots.
And they have a little angel over their
Kind
shoulder right
of
now
want to
because,
see a
yeah,
replay, but for John's
I mean,
sake, I
he
don't
should've
want to see a
connected that
replay.
spray,
But how
but
did he
that
not kill
alarm
him?
bot maybe just messing with his sight lines, messing with his crosshair in that moment.
That put right over his head, man.
Yeah, it would have been on point. Didn't overflick it. Sachi did a really good job, and yeah, it was just that right there. I wonder if the Killjoy turret actually hit him in the head.
Yeah,
and
I
it
wonder.
kinda, like, knocked
I wonder
his
if that was
crosshair
part
up,
of it
you know,
as well.
that aim punch. Sure. I wonder if that was the difference maker in that round, because that surely would have went the way of Sentinels if John could have connected those shots.
Round 11, the big stick back in the hands of Oxy. Celsius one away from his Rolling Thunder. John QT not far off from his ult either. You take a look at the defensive setup.
They're
There's
so
Killjoy
close to official, though.
utility littering the middle of the map. And look at all the space.
This
Vanity
is
has
looking
taken
pretty good for
already.
C9. The
Cubby.
bait.
If they
all-
try
the
to
Cubby.
see Oxy's there for the first challenge.
Yeah,
with
this
the
is an
op.
absolute
Vanity
classic.
swings out. That's a nightmare.
Do they
Oh my
consider
gosh,
this?
this smoke
Wait,
top
they
C is
smoked
genius.
top.
They're gonna re-clear Vanity now. Vanity gets one though.
Oh.
He's got to get out.
He's got
TP out.
paranoia to buy some time. There's really no way for him to get out. He tries to TP, tries to get
Oh,
away.
no way.
Oxy
Oxy went
fam.
for that.
Oxy joined in on the fray, tried to clean up the mess that was left, and he pays for it with his life as well.
And again, with all that happening, Sachi was in A long by himself, and you heard the players on A rotate off because there's a player top short. I think it was Zeppa. Zeppa made noise running away from A site, so now this is free. 4v3. We've seen this happen before.
I thought he was doing it as a bit.
The first to join the fray. Waiting
Dude,
for
it's like
reinforcements to
Monnier
arrive.
all
Now
over
it's
again.
faced with a
30
one-way.
seconds left.
That's so miserable.
That spike not being planted yet can work in Cloud9's favor. They might have an opportunity here, but they're gonna have to speed up. Oh, and that paranoia just delays any type of push.
Oh, the paranoia and then the lockdown too. You're forced to sit back.
Yeah, this is
It's
gotta
a
be
very
save.
well timed
By the
though.
time you get back in, unless Sentinels make another
Oh, well.
mistake, there's no way you're winning this round.
No,
Then
now Lazels is having his Rolling Thunder as well.
just got
They will
stun up.
try a double
Oh my
swing
god,
out.
he
10
literally
gets the first
just
5
got
HP
stun
left.
up. It's so good.
Tucks back. Tries to buy a little bit of time.
Last player
And that is the
standing.
biggest difference maker here. 3, 4 for the controller. Sentinels get to 7.
Last round before the switch.
That's strong one way.
Round to use our creds
Pretty
and
sure.
abilities.
Not that we
Don't
got to see it. I'm pretty
See
sure
the
that's
replay on that. This was that initial exchange from Vanity.
if
Nice kill.
if Sentinels got over towards A
It's
more,
just so
that was
hard
like
to get out
what they were
from a
planning to
spot
do with
like
their
that. He
omen.
really had to commit that omen on if
Just
he had
this
wanted
one
to
way
give
the whole
one any
time.
chance, and that's so hard to do on the fly like that.
Enemy remaining.
And then the post plant
Let's go.
utility. 10's getting 4 to finish the round. Sentinels firing at all cylinders right now, and John
Yeah,
needs
Zep
to be
release was
careful here. He
official
might
for
get
this last
spammed in
one,
window,
and
putting
they
that
go
turret down.
aggro.
You saw there was certainly an
3-person
attempt.
middle.
Yeah, escapes with his life. unscathed.
Cloud9 getting active here, taking a bunch of the middle of the map.
Omen flash into stun, into official. Hey, this was really cool. Dude, they got some nice setups for the C9.
But John QT was ready.
Whoever's doing some of the defensive setups been on
A
it.
disastrous round for Sentinels. What a trap.
That spike down and
Yeah,
short
they're,
as well.
they're all based around ults though,
It's up
so
to the
it's
duo.
kind of
I mean, they got the
only
mechanical
for
talent
this,
to do
because
this,
if
but
they
will
try and use it
Cloud9
again, I
give them the
imagine people would anti it.
A 2v4 here would be something special.
Right there. There's no way you know that Rooney's sitting here in heaven, right?
No. Perched up
Oh, another thrash as well.
like a guardian looking over the site.
Wait a second.
Seconds on the prowl.
Uh-oh.
He's creeping closer, and I don't think Rooney knows. He turns at just the right time. But Zekin's there to punish.
That's the first, and there's still 40 seconds, Doug.
But they still have to get the spike. I mean, that's going to be the hardest part of this. Look at every other member on the side of
How
Cloud9
do you do this?
staring at the smoke.
30 seconds left.
And Zekin's
Just
down to
smoke
6
one
HP.
left side, updraft through, and the other one runs out. Updraft shorty.
No way in. There's certainly no way they make this happen. Vanity with 3 on the round, looking for the 4th, and
Yeah.
he will find it. Cloud9 gets a 5.
Not bad.
And with the
Not
way
bad
that
from
this
C9.
map was
The,
going,
you got,
Sen were in full
the
control,
problem with
so
this
good
for
job of
C9 is
Sen
just
to
the
bring
fact that
this
it's that
one back and keep it
1v2 and the
competitive.
1v3. That wrecked
They
him
have a
so
real
heavy
chance
on
right
this.
now on their attacking half. They can
Clutch
secure
rounds
the
really
pistol
made a
round, who
difference.
knows?
I like the
That
setups from
trap
C9.
grid
They had
was
some good
so
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, both times. Both traps that they had. This one, that first one from earlier in the half with the breach ultimate that was invested, and Vanity.
And that
I mean,
second
he's willing
round,
to play
yeah,
up close and dirty
that's true.
in your
I had
face
the
with
second
that
round in there.
shorty
The
or
hero
rifle, whatever it may
stinger.
be.
Ever the selfless caller, ever the selfless leader. We're going to throw it down to Akeem at the desk to break down the first half. Akeem, take it away.
So as you can see, C9, they are down, and I'm kind of curious to know, how did Sentinels get to where they are today?
I mean, it all started with the clutches
Yeah.
in that half. They had 2 within 3 rounds, I think, to catapult themselves into control. This one from Zelsis is what started it all. And I can't help but remember this last game from Cloud9, where they were giving away some of these late round clutch opportunities, where the trading wasn't quite perfect. And I mean, this in that got given to Sentinels, they used that to get a great half here.
For sure, and it feels like for both sides,
yoink
they really
with the prime.
were
Thank you
down
very much.
to these clutch moments.
Welcome in,
but
dude.
this just being an insane kind of clutch, not able to get it to half for C9, and just being able to swing and get that pick for Sentinels. It's just been so good, and then they always are able to come back to their mid-rounding to kind of solidify and get them into those spots in the first place.
I think Sen did a really good job of shutting Oxy down in some of these mid-rounds. C9 put a lot of
Halftime,
resources
yeah, the halftime
into
break
getting
is
him on
long, man.
early fights, especially on a map like Haven, and Sen
Really
did a
is.
good job of shutting that down. Now Cloud9 have that same task in the second half. If Sen can win the pistol, get Zekin and Op online early, that'll give John QT as a caller a ton of options here, which
5 on
makes
defense of this
Cloud9's
comp
life
really
very
good.
difficult.
Yeah, both players
too bad.
really putting up a
The-
show and
the
putting up a
Geckos-
fight to show who is a little
I
bit
don't
more
know.
aggressive and able
The
to get
Gecko-
those picks as the Jet. And
I find
both
it
players just playing
harder
absolutely phenomenally.
Like,
Absolutely,
your
yeah.
C hit
I mean,
isn't
you didn't
as
get
good in
your
my opinion.
neon, but
And that's normally what a lot of
on the
teams used to
Jet.
rely on.
So
But they should
I'm
have some
happy
right
with how
stuff.
both of these teams have been
It's like
playing
better for
around their
Overwhelm,
Jet.
but
I think
getting
Sentinels
through, like,
really
some
well
of the
knew
longer
win
choke points
condition
a
of
little
shutting
bit.
down Oxy to get
Little
into
bit
these
worse.
mid-rounds.
absolutely. Let's toss things back to the casters for the second half.
Granny _OW, 6
Thank you
months.
so much,
Thank you
Akeem. Dre,
for
one of
the
things
tier
we
1.
didn't mention
And
a
Jet is
ton
on a
that
boat
is
as well,
worth talking
13
about
months.
is the resilience that Cloud9 showed. Think about
Oh,
the
Jet,
timeline
thank
they
you.
had. 2 insane clutches the Sentinels pulled off. They get thriftied after winning the pistol. For it to still be 7-5 is very impressive.
Yeah, to be fair, they got a couple of freebies of their own.
Oh,
of
Redka,
Sentinels,
why are you linking
specifically
that?
in those
What the
post
hell?
plants, most notably that John QT one where
That's
he
crazy.
fights in the garage, couldn't connect that spray.
Sure.
But still, a very competitive half, and yeah, fight back. And it's been tied up in first blood
So
so far.
unnecessary.
So let's see if Oxy on this attacking side or Zekin on this defensive side can really take it away for any of their squads.
Mimi mentioned one of the win conditions for the defensive side would be getting Zekin online and active early, getting it off in his hands and letting John call. That's an excellent start. Not only that, it's Oxy and Rooney that are down. All of the go is gone.
Swarm grenade out.
I spoke about the first bloods being a deciding factor in this next half and closing out this map for either side, and it was Zekin who stood up to the plate, and man, he batted 100% on those shots. That was crazy.
And so now Cloud9 on their back foot.
Just outrageous, really.
Trying to figure out where do they go from here? How do they approach the rest of this pistol?
It would take some grave mistakes, and already a dink on the Moose from John sitting in that A connector. Oh. That spike does not get planted, and it's on the side of Sentinels.
Oh, the shots in this round. What's going on
there? They might
there?
be able to pull this thing off. Zeppa having to go forward, tries to clear the smoke, and just waltzes.
These shots from second, that is insane.
Nice work, all off the back of Zekin. Again, I imagine we're going to see a replay of those shots. Those are some really clean shots. The follow-up, that was the one that was the nastiest. Forget that he drops Oxy with this first shot, right? It's this one that's so impressive. On the wide swing, 2 players already dialed in on
Honestly,
your
they're
angle,
both really impressive.
and you're still going to hit that and get out of dodge with that jet. So quick. Crosshair placement, absolutely on point.
Not a whole lot you can do there. 13 and 8, and now an outlaw in hand. Ooh, make that 14.
Another one up onto Oxy. In this case, obviously,
It's going to take turns with the
way of Sentinels.
Marshall here.
It is their buy round.
I like this idea on an eco though.
Oxy, he tried. He had to hit a headshot if he wanted to do that, and he had that opportunity to, but just couldn't step up.
They're going to try to pounce out onto C anyway. They continue to feed the outlaw. They continue to feed the beast that is Zekin. Rooney with no real choice. No real place to go. Will fall again. Sentinels get to 9.
What the buy is going to be.
Only a stinger dropped.
Yeah.
You know, the Outlaw's in place, so
Sentinels going into this
get the
first
Bulldog.
buy round for Cloud9. They have a healthy buy.
You take a look at it one more time. These kills are, I mean, you look at them and you go, yeah, it was an eco, yeah, it was an outlaw, sure. But again, I want to call back to what Mimi was saying on the desk. Getting an op in the hands of Zekin as early as possible is so pivotal to the success of Sentinels here. Not just because you've got an op in the hands of your star, but because it allows John to call the game the way he wants.
Oh,
this kid is so good.
Don't need an operator when you got the outlaw.
Zekin's been unbelievable, isn't he?
Basically a pocket op.
Like, think of how much impact this guy's had already in this. That 1v3 was giant. That second round was all because of him with the hero gun and the stinger.
It's a good molly from Moose.
He's got so many opening kills.
Alarm bot, I believe, was pulled back by John right in time, and oh my goodness.
It's not getting any better, Dre.
No way.
It's not getting any better. It's all under Rooney. He doesn't have the spike. This meltdown is catastrophic.
I mean, what were Cloud9 supposed to do in this round? Like, tell me. I feel like most of the kills, nice one tap from Rooney. Good follow-up by Tens. But the crowd could.
Dude, Rooney's got some loud fans.
But yeah, most of the kills in this round were through a wall or by players that were blind. I mean, look at this. Vanity, no chance. Look at this for Moose, no chance. And look at this. Stunned, flash, no chance. And you can't really make that one up.
No. That's no all momentum the way of Sentinels. And remember, the one difference that I'm seeing here compared to the first half was when Cloud9 got pushed, they punched back. Yes, it was Oxy. Yes, it was Moose. Rooney had a big moment there, but it doesn't seem like it's happening at all here in the second half.
Both
Yeah,
for the
this timeout. Last timeout for Cloud9 is a wake-up call.
I feel like when I watch C9, they always have some of the worst starts.
Close on their
And Amy's always in the same situation where it's just like a really brutal half.
That could be really tilting for a team.
Like,
I mean,
well,
no one really had a chance right there. Vanity, yeah, like he saw him for a second in short, but to get wallbang with both shots,
that's so frustrating.
It's frustrating. And then, yeah, Moose, he knows he has to make a play, do something. He mollied that alarm bot early on. So I don't blame him for trying to take that timing front B. And then he goes up against a John QT who's just spraying him with a bulldog through a wall.
It's a tough spot to be in. Zekin one away from having his blades out while still in hand, now with full armor. Meanwhile, if you take a look at Cloud9 and what tools they have at their disposal,
Surely
a couple
they
of
don't use
stingers
Fischl
make that
into
3
it.
now. And Zeppa has his ult. given the deficit
Staying
they're
at
facing today,
Sheriffs.
I don't know if that's something you
Fast
want
A.
to cautious on pulling the trigger.
Oh, I say fast
If
A,
there's
just
an
A
opportunity,
default.
you have to strike.
Yeah. A first blood would be great
Need
for
a
the way of
drop.
Cloud9, but
Thanks.
I'm looking at Zekin with this Outlaw against 4 players that have light armor.
Yeah.
And I just think he's going to have a feast. I mean, he might be sitting on this gun for the rest of the half.
So
A fault line, a dart, and then Zekin.
Another wall bang. No chance for Rudy. He's eliminated without seeing an opponent.
He's just not allowed to play the game.
dart. Bam.
Oh, we're investing the Thrash in a 4v5. It does give you a free sight and a connection.
There's no way we invest the
Oxy goes
fish into
aggressive,
this. This is
follows.
ever.
Wow.
Like they just all in basically.
John QT falls, a weapon upgraded.
And
Still has 880 damage. 10's over the top, dropping
oh,
Oxy.
and he gets the info on the guy at the back,
It just
and he
looks
hugs
so
the
easy.
smoke. Oh, and they find out this guy's close.
Cloud9
Damn,
respond to
Tens
Vandal
played
what
this
they have. It's
pretty
been
well,
drawn
man.
second with blades online. They're not finding
Because he insta gets
lethality,
pops.
but he stays alive. Celsius might just clean this
Dude,
thing
and
up.
they went all in.
Sentinels get to 11.
The
slow is in
actual
full effect.
balls of like C9, 4v5, low buy, literally 2 stingers, 2 sheriffs.
Tens
Using
played that
Fischl
round
is
to perfection,
mental.
Doug. He was sitting on the top of C.
That's
He didn't
desperation.
panic when everyone was splitting him from garage. There's a player long. He dodges the Omen flash, gets his kill, and this is the Tens that I like the most. He got out.
Tens
and
did
survived for
unreal.
Celsius
Got
to
the
come and
kill,
support and clean up
bought enough
house. It was
time, stayed alive the whole
beautifully played.
time.
This is why this Sentinels roster has been so good as of this year. And honestly, a little bit of
C
last
hit.
year. I say that we're going straight into a C hit. Shouldn't be much opposition to be faced here. But it's the disciplined game and approach from all these
But
players.
that's a
that
nice
you would
sight
think,
hit, though.
You know, Tens. He's the star
Much
player.
as I
He
like
likes
the
to go
recon
out
at the
and
back
do
with the
crazy
Sova.
things.
Like,
The
this
discipline
is just
from
like
him
a
has
whole
been
lane of
so superb
damage.
this year, and that's why he's been playing so good.
Keep an eye on John. His
Yeah,
positioning
John did
there
that
is gorgeous.
very good on this.
Even a follow-up.
Let's check
Omen
the
flash
timing
is
of
needed.
John. They
so
might not even
confident
need to
to
do
take
it
that
on the
angle.
flash into
That's 2
recon.
on the round for the caller already.
Not a recon? Okay.
Second on the swing. Is dead. I don't think I've seen that guy lose a gunfight in a really long time. Of course, as I say that, he falls, but it's still all
They're
success
running
for
over them.
Sentinels.
Oceans
Absolutely
with the
running away with
Prime.
this
Thank you
match.
very much, man.
Running away with this map.
I think that's how I say your name. Either that or
And
O-Beams.
what's the next map, Doug? It's
Not too
Split.
sure.
One of Sentinel's best maps.
Thanks to the Prime, mate.
One of the
Thank you
best
for doing
teams
that,
I've ever
dude.
seen play that map in the game, period.
You know it's over when
This was
Celsius
close
ops.
for a half.
But he just got thrown it,
It's
right?
just been all Sentinels all the way.
He
from
didn't
that
have it
point
from the
on.
get-go.
Yeah, that
It
break
was
that
just so
they
he could
took,
dash in.
It was much needed. They look fully motivated,
Grippy, thank you for the Prime, man.
in full effect, full force.
Welcome into the Slug Club, bro. Thank you
5
for doing
rounds
that.
in a row for the defensive side.
Okay,
And they've done it
7
their own way.
and Sassy.
They've been able to lean into the
brings
financial
out
boom that they
Odin.
have. They've been able to run trap plays and spawn. This has just been so clean.
4 players converging onto
Yeah,
A main right now.
so I haven't
Vandy
really
needs
seen
to get
teams
out of
do
here
this,
and get
but
out of
this
here
wall
quick,
here is
otherwise
spammable.
That's no smokes available.
And
There's no
it
real
doesn't
idea
do
what
as
could
much
be waiting
damage
on the
because of the
inside. Still
angle
manages
unless
to
you kind of
rotate
get a
away. The
little
smoke
bit
is gonna be out
closer.
towards garage. John
But it
QT
is
still in the same position,
pretty
still
good for
trying to
slowing
deal the
people
same
down.
amount of damage.
Well,
Leaves Moose with a brutal headache.
nice if you have some util over towards there.
He's going to get caught out here as well. Oh, some movement heard, so Moose could have the upper hand,
Oh,
but leave it to
man.
John to reposition and re-clear Moose.
It was off
Yeah,
of the
and
noise
they're
they
trying to
heard
do
in
the
spawn.
right thing of taking map control because they've
It's
at
just
least
so
had the comms from
effortless. It's
Moose.
such a smooth dance. And so now Sentinels will try to rotate over. The Rolling Thunder's going to push them back, though. John QT getting dropped, decapitated. But Sasi's doing the best of his own. Rooney's left alone. How in the
God, they
world
wrecked him.
do you in a 1v4?
They absolutely wrecked them.
You cannot.
T9 got a little bit lucky, like unlucky with some of the rounds that are in there, but
Sentinels
that looks like a
obliterate
very,
Cloud9 and of course,
that looks
Celsius
like
is out of his
a
seat.
very,
Thunder's
very
win.
good off
Okay,
from
now
them
I know what
against
he
there.
said previously. He said, "You are my sons."